how it is. I said this is gonna happen. Previous video, exactly what I said. Go and check it. My video talking about Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. I said this is gonna happen. The WBO offering resistance to Anthony Joshua fighting Tyson Fury before fighting Oleksandr Usyk. Called it. I said this is gonna happen. Everyone jumping on the hype train for this AJ Fury fight. So many mines and roadblocks in the way for AJ and for Tyson Fury. So let's quickly get to what's going on here. Because AJ's got Kubrat Pulev to deal with. The WBO, I think they dealt with the IBF, basically insisting who's going to go first, who's going to go second. And the WBO's like, listen, we're not getting cheated out of our guy having his shot over no undisputed. So let's get to what the president of the WBO has actually said. How do you pronounce the name? Pacquiao Vacasel, let's pronounce it like that. For those of you, maybe he's a Spanish Mexican guy. For those of you who are Spanish, you will know how to pronounce this. But let's quickly get to what he said. Love to see the WBO under a unified champion Anthony Joshua fighting WBO former and current WBC champion Tyson Fury for undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. But WBO mandatory should be next. Those are the words of the WBO president. So the WBO president, not having any of that, are they going to enforce this mandatory on Anthony Joshua? Because, as I said before, there was confusion as to whether Joshua was going to take on Kubrat Pulev first, or whether he was going to take on Oleksandr Usyk as a WBO mandatory. So, obviously, I guess they decided that, between all camps, that Joshua was going to take on Kubrat Pulev first, which we all know is going to take place. Now, in terms of Usyk, unforeseen circumstances now, we having Joshua agreeing to fight Tyson Fury. Now, if Joshua, let's say Joshua fights Kubrat Pulev, then he goes on to fight Fury, there's going to have to fight a rematch with Tyson Fury. We could have a scenario where it could be 2022 before Oleksandr Usyk is really going to get his WBO shot. I don't think WBO is going to be having any of that. They're going to want, Usyk's going to want his shot. The WBO is going to want to enforce his shot. Question is, would there be any wiggle room for negotiation between Camp AJ with the WBO? Will the WBO, step aside and allow, the undisputed fight to take place? And would the Usyk camp really want that to even happen? Because indirectly, this is actually an opportunity for Oleksandr Usyk. If he can go in there as mandatory shot, no rematch clause, go in there, beat AJ before undisputed, all of a sudden Usyk is in line for undisputed fight potentially against Tyson Fury. That's if Tyson Fury is able to get through Deontay Wilder, and Tyson Fury's got his own mandatory debacle with Dillian Whyte as well on the WBC side. But in terms of the WBO, Usyk is, for me, I think Usyk is definitely going to be pushing for his shot. If he's to get through Derek Chisora, and can keep his challenger position as mandatory, I highly believe and highly suspect that Usyk's camp and Usyk himself is going to be pushing for that mandatory slot, because there is an opportunity for Usyk here to somehow wind his way into an undisputed fight if you really look at how things are moving. So, what do you guys think about all of this though? The WBO, do you think Usyk's going to get his shot? Do you think the Usyk's going to step aside? Do you think Usyk's going to step aside? Because then Eddie Hearn will have to be paying Usyk step aside money. All this step aside money flying all over the place. Step aside for Deontay, step aside for Usyk, step aside for Pulev. All this step aside money, there ain't no money around to be paying all these guys big bucks for step aside money. Not in this economic climate and all this with what's going on in boxing. Boxing being shut. Ain't no money to be paying all these guys. So for me, I feel, as I said in my previous video, I think WBO is going to be forced, on Anthony Joshua. I feel like the WBO match is going to be enforced. He's going to have to fight Kubrat Pulev. I feel like before the summer of 2021, I feel like the WBO is going to look at that. He's going to try and find a way to put Usyk in there at some point. They're going to try and get him in there, because if they don't get Usyk his shot before the Tyson Fury fight, if Fury is to beat Kubrat Pulev, it's probably going to be 2022 until Usyk's going to get his shot. 2020 to 2022, I think the WB on Usyk's team is going to find it unacceptable. So I feel like Usyk's going to get his shot. Joshua's going to have to take on Kubrat Pulev. He's going to have to take on Oleksandr Usyk. He's going to have to take on Oleksandr Usyk. And those are not easy. This is heavyweight boxing. Usyk is no walkabout. It's not easy fight. Cruiserweight champion. Can't take your eye. AJ can't take his eye off the ball. It's easy to take his eye off the ball because you're looking at a Fury summer fight. Oleksandr Usyk, experienced cruiserweight, Olympian himself, just like AJ, Olympic gold medal, just like AJ. You know, Olympics, been in the Olympics, similar to AJ, as I said. Kubrat Pulev, experienced campaigner, wily old fox, fought guys like Klitschko. You know, he's got experience in there. He's been knocked out by Klitschko, still got the experience. 4 years old, approaching. Is he 40 now? Can't even remember how old this guy's, but he's definitely, he's either 40 now or approaching 40. He's gonna be hungry to take that to take these belts back to Bulgaria and put his name in the put his name in the lights in heavyweight division. So AJ's got a road. He's got a minefield ahead of him in terms of Kubrat Pulev and Usyk, which I believe the WB is going to want to enforce him to have to take on. At the same time, I said in my previous video, Tyson Fury's also got a minefield of his own. Deontay Wilder, the bronze bomber, right hand devastating, knockout, spark out power. He's going to have to beat Deontay Wilder again. Dangerous resurgent Deontay Wilder could be coming back. A lot of people are ruling out Deontay Wilder. Don't be fooled. Deontay Wilder still is the same guy, he can still punch. He's going to be coming back resurgent. If Deontay Wilder can put himself together, talking about bringing George Foreman and get his camp together and work on a few things that he really should be working on, you know, we might see a resurgent Deontay Wilder could, you know, spark this whole AJ Fury talking to, you know, into another galaxy, and all of a sudden we're going to have AJ back on with Deontay Wilder. At the same time, Tyson Fury might have to take on Dillian White, because similar to AJ with Oleksandr Usyk, potentially Usyk doesn't want to have to be waiting until 2022 before his title shot. Dillian White doesn't want to have to be waiting until 2022 for his WBC title shot. I suspect that Tyson Fury will have to take on Deontay Wilder, may have to take on Dillian White. AJ, as I said before, is probably going to have to take on, he's going to take on Pulev. Most likely will have to take on the WBO mandatory in Usyk, if Usyk's to beat Chisora. So there's a minefield ahead for both fighters. Nothing is going to be, this is heavyweight boxing. Anything can happen. Drop your comments in the comment section below. What do you think about the WBO offering resistance to AJ fighting Tyson Fury before Oleksandr Usyk? Can Usyk spoil the apple cart and defeat Anthony Joshua? Can Tyson Fury and AJ make it to summer 2021 without getting beat by these top class fighters? Drop your comments in the comment section below. Let me hear from you guys. Cool.